the Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Dr. Benson Maregi, Chairman of the University Council, Professor Shem Migotadola, members of Kenyatta University Council, the host Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul Wainaina, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners present, chairpersons of councils from other universities, vice chancellors from other universities, guest alumni speaker, Dr. Anthony Akoto, Senior Medical Officer of Bungoma County, members of the University Senate, the international partners, staff, and students of Kenyatta University, parents and guardians, graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, I bring to you greetings from our Minister for Education, Professor George Magoha, who was held up this morning. He would have wished to be here. He told me that he's proud of the work you're doing at this university, and he's committed to support all institutions. And Kenyatta University is one of the best institutions that he will wish to continue supporting to keep on the path to progress. Before I read his speech, I also want to observe, first, Vice Chancellor was my lecturer here. I graduated from this university 32 years ago. That was in 1989. And I remember very fondly the very good lecturers. In fact, I refer to them as super lecturers. Among them, the Vice Chancellor now, Professor Wainaina, in philosophy of education. And this university was known for producing majorly teachers. Because when we were admitted here in first year, we were students of the University of Nairobi, but placed here in Kenyatta University College then, at that time. And we had good life. We had good teaching from our lecturers. We socialized and we created a culture. And there are those who came after us, and I'm very happy they love to associate with this university. We have our 8-9 group, WhatsApp group, we communicate, and I've once in a while shared with the Vice Chancellor what they say about the university, and we hope that one day we shall come back here to celebrate this university and count our blessings at our foundation of knowledge institution. I want also to bring to you greetings from those who came immediately after us, the 1990 group. It is bigger because it was double intake. And many of them, and many in my group, and those who are ahead of us, are now at their prime in the service to our nation. They are scattered all over the world, serving humanity and contributing to human development. We feel very proud that none of them has failed this institution or failed our government, because what we do is a representative of where we come from. And where we come from, we count our institutions, and we count our nation, Kenya, because we are scattered all over the world. One thing I want to mention is that we feel proud as the 89 group, Vice Chancellor, because we were here for exactly 3 years. It was uninterrupted learning because we understood why we were here. We never caused any disruption. We did not throw stones, and we reflect on it and we feel happy about it. And I want to challenge those who come after today to beat our record, so that when you come here, you know why you are coming to the university. You know that the university should create its own culture, because there are universities out there in the developed world where students mind their business, where lecturers mind their business, and they achieve the purpose for which they are in the institution. So on behalf of H9 Group, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I want to register our pride today that we were here, and right now there are people in different positions in government and out of this country. I recall while serving as High Commissioner in Canada, the person who was in charge of transport, managing transport in the city of Toronto, which is the largest city in Canada, was a product of this university, was a year ahead of me. And he manages a very complicated city transport. They don't have any traffic issues like we have in our capital city here and some of the large cities in our country. So we are serving humanity. May I now read the minister's speech? I'm honored to be part of the congregation for the 49th graduation ceremony of Kenyatta University. I thank the lecturers, staff, parents, and guardians who have directly or indirectly contributed to the achievement of these graduates. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and the entire government, allow me to appreciate the great work you have all done. Even as we send the graduates on their way to the next step in their lives, I encourage them to face the world with the same boldness and endurance that they took their studies, particularly since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. I'm happy to note that the university has managed to arrange the graduation as it seeks to streamline its academic calendar. These positive developments and attitude of the learning community in adapting to the new normal is commendable. I especially laud the efforts made by the university in ensuring compliance with the laid down COVID-19 protocols, the adoption of the present-day technology in administering virtual classes to ensure continuity in learning and for making this graduation possible today. Dear graduates, always remember that the race is not always for the fast runners, but for those who are resilient to keep on running. As you soldier on, keep a sense of perspective on enormous advances we have made and continue to make Kenya great. The government is committed to instituting interventions that promote educational equity in line with Sustainable Development Goal number 4 and the aspirations contemplated in AU Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. In this regard, the government established the National Research Fund and has strengthened the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation to support scientific research, inventions and innovations and build capacity in the science, technology and innovation, STI, sector for national development. I am very happy to note that through competitive proposals, Kenyatta University has benefited and continues to benefit from the National Research Fund support. In order to fully exploit the opportunities availed by the National Research Fund, I urge the university fraternity to step up their efforts in research and innovation projects in priority areas related to the National Development Goals as outlined in the Vision 2030 Blueprint and the Big Four Agenda, among other national policy projections. As you are aware, the government is already upgrading the teacher training programs to enhance skills for delivering the competence-based curriculum, CBC. Noting that Kenyatta University is a household name in education and training in Kenya, I urge you to take advantage of your rich human resource and unmatched infrastructure to carry out necessary changes in teacher training programs in readiness for the emerging requirements awaiting new admissions in September this year and beyond. Indeed, I take this opportunity to congratulate Kenyatta University for the recent appointment of Professor Fatuma Chege as Principal Secretary in the newly created State Department for the implementation of curriculum reforms in the Ministry of Education. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware of the financial limitations and the burdens thereof that institutions of higher learning are currently facing owing to the global pandemic, exacerbated by competing variables of national interests. I want to assure you of the government's commitment to prioritizing and addressing these needs. To the graduates, as you receive your degrees, diplomas, and certificates today, remember the words of Oprah Winfrey that, and I quote, "What you dwell on is who you become." End of the quote. You now have the opportunity to do your part in creating a better future for yourselves, for your families, for your communities, and for our country, Kenya. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. Look for something positive each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. Remember that knowledge has to be improved, it has to be challenged, or even enhanced constantly, or it is left to vanish. I also urge the academic staff to be conscientious as they teach more students because, and I quote, "If we are to teach real peace in the world and in our country, and if we are on real war against the war, we shall begin with children." End of the quote. And when you serve man, serve as if you are serving God himself. This is from Mahatma Gandhi. I wish to enhance and encourage creation of a solid national character through our institutions of higher learning, because a nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the souls of the people. Let us be strong enough to know when we are weak, because the way we think defines us and determines what kind of a people we become. Thinking is individual as well as collective when guided by policies, rules, and regulations which govern our lives. We must adjust to the changing times, but still hold onto the unchanging principles and values that govern us. I must take this opportunity to thank Kenyatta University and all institutions of higher learning in our country for being keen and consistent in empowering young citizens with knowledge and skills for nation building. With the institutions and academic staff like yourselves at Kenyatta University, our possibilities as a nation are limitless. I once again take this opportunity to congratulate the leadership of this university for good management and for keeping the university on the development course, for keeping the university on the path to success, and for maintaining very good programs that have benefited and empowered many Kenyans who come here to study. I want to congratulate the graduates for the work they have done and encourage them to work with their heads high as they look forward to serving humanity. It is now my pleasure to invite the Chancellor of Kenyatta University, Dr. Ben